Hello, and welcome to another Friday Ask Us Anything Live with Intrepid English. I'm Kate R. I'm a senior teacher with Intrepid English. And every Friday, I go live on a grammar point, a pronunciation point, or even vocabulary point. So if you like my videos, please hit the like button and subscribe so that you get notified when I'm coming live. On live to help you with your English. And please check out our channel because we have so much on IELTS, on grammar, on vocabulary. We have so many videos that can help you in your English and empower you in English, because we all know how important English is in the world today. And of course, if you would like a more personalized approach with me, you can always book a trial lesson through our website, Intrepid English. All the details are below in the comments. So today I want to talk about some idioms that I use regularly. And I thought it would be super useful for you to learn them. So why, first of all, is it important to learn idioms? Because if you want to sound like a native speaker, you need to use idioms. And unfortunately, idioms are a little bit hard to always understand because they're not necessarily immediately obvious on the meaning. But once you learn them and once you use them correctly, your level in English shoots up. So how can you learn idioms? Well, my tip for you is to take the idiom and think of a personalized example, something you would use regularly because it's true for you. Because the more you use the idiom, the more it will stay in the brain. So if you're using it as an example that is really something that is true to you, is personal, and something that you would use in a conversation, that's the example to learn. That's how you learn the idiom. So now for my top 20 idioms, I'm going to break this into 2 videos because that's a lot of content. So this video will be covering the first 10 idioms. So be sure to watch next week, next Friday at 10 a.m. BST to see the second half of my best 20 idioms. So number 1, a penny for your thoughts. I love this idiom. It's said when you want to know what someone is thinking because they have been quiet for a while and they're clearly thinking of something. So what you say is, for example, "You're very quiet, Bob." Penny for your thoughts. So it's a brilliant idiom. Okay, number 2, to add insult to injury. This is used when someone has made a bad situation worse by doing something extra to upset you. So, for example, he told her she was too old for him. And then to add insult to injury, he married someone 10 years older than her. Yeah, that would hurt. That would really hurt. The next one is to cost an arm and a leg. I use this one a lot, especially when I'm talking about something expensive. Okay, that's the meaning. It means that something was very expensive. It cost a lot of money. And so, for example, this new computer of mine, cost me an arm and a leg. Okay, it's a great expression. Number 4, at the drop of a hat. Again, I use this all the time. So we use this idiom when we do something immediately without stopping to think about it. So we have no hesitation, we go for it. Okay, so if someone offered me a free car, I'd take it at the drop of a hat because I desperately, well, actually, I'll change that. If someone offered me an electric bike with 2 child seats on the back to test, for example, I'd go for it at the drop of a hat. I'd grab it with both hands. Okay. Number 5, to bark up the wrong tree. So to bark is what dogs do. Ruff, 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 ruff. And dogs often bark up trees when they're trying to find squirrels or birds or cats. Okay, they bark ruff, 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 up a tree. Now, if you bark up the wrong tree, it means to be wrong about the reason for something. So, for example, she thinks it will solve her problem to do this, but she's barking up the wrong tree. It won't work. Okay. The next one, to beat about the bush. Now, I use this a lot. In fact, no, I use it a lot, but my mother says it to me all the time because so first of all, to beat about the bush means to avoid talking about what's important, to not get to the point. So you have a point, you have a reason that you're talking about, and you give extra stories, you talk about extra, and you don't get to the point, you don't get to the reason of what you're saying, what's important. So my mother often says to me, stop beating about the bush and get to the point. So yeah, that's a classic one. Next one, number 7, again, it's one of my favorite idioms. To be the best thing since sliced bread. Because let's be honest, sliced bread is great. So this means to be an excellent person or object. So I remember when I got my first iPhone and I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. Okay. Number 8, to cross that bridge when we come to it, or when you come to it. So this expression means you will not worry about a problem in advance, but deal with it as it happens. So let's not panic. We'll wait and see what happens. And if it doesn't work, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay, number 9, you can't judge a book by its cover. This is said to show you cannot judge someone, or you cannot know what someone or something is like just by looking at their appearance. So I said this just the other day because we went to a restaurant, which from the outside didn't look that great. It looked a bit not the best quality, but my friend said, no, Kate, you must try the food here. And in fact, the food was delicious because it's this Vietnamese mother who is doing the cooking, and her children are running the restaurant, and her food is just incredible. It is the best Vietnamese food I've had since I was in Vietnam. And so it's very true. You can't judge a book by its cover, because if my friend had not told me that I really needed to try this food, I would never have gone in that restaurant. Okay. Number 10 is what I used with my student the other day, my amazing student. And she will recognize herself in this story, I hope. So, number 10, to hit the nail on the head. This is used when you describe something that is the 100% the solution to the problem. So, or you 100% completely agree with someone's point of view. So I thought Kay hit the nail on the head by saying that backstabbing people are often acting out of jealousy. And I completely agree with her. So I said to her, you hit the nail on the head there. Okay, so that's the first 10 idioms. So I want you now to, if you have time, to think of your own personal example with each of these 10 idioms, and afterwards start using them, because if you use them, you'll remember them and you'll become amazing in English. Be sure to check out next week's video when I'm going to explain the second 10 of my best idioms. So bye for me. Hope you have an amazing weekend, and see you next Friday.